there's this experience you've had of let's call it a less optimal relationship that made you have issues and challenges that you are having.
You must take the English.
I know,
here.
I was like, that's corporate Simba.
Yeah.
Take the English here.
Okay, cool.
Check it in your dictionary.
Yeah.
So you've got this situation where you've come from a place that's just not,
Yeah.
I'll say it, it's not love.
Yeah.
And now you get this guy who is loving, but you're like, hi, it's got a timeline. 5 years, it will probably be over. What does healing look like in the process of that? Because in my view, him loving you is almost like, what do you want?
Yes.
But on your side, it's also like, shucks, I've not experienced this, and there's probably a dissonance of, so which is what I was in, what it was, or is this actually it, and I've got to reconfigure my life around it?
I think it ended up being the second one that you said, where I'm like, I have to believe this is true. Like I have to choose to believe it is true. So before that, I think it was, so here's the thing, I wasn't totally aware I had all these things going on, like when we were dating. I wasn't like fully like conscious that this is coming from a really negative experience, or this is what they called a trauma response, right? Like I wasn't totally aware. It was only later on where I was like, actually, wait, like I think this just might be a response from what I was essentially taught, what love actually looks like. So with that, when that sort of realization kicked in, it was a thing of being honest, like in my relationship, and saying like, I don't actually know what this is, or this makes me feel weird, or do you actually, like, I've asked my husband a few times, do you actually like me? Like, you know, like we have a thing where it's like, we'll say I love you, but also say I like you, because they both matter to me, because I think I was in a relationship with a man who did not like me. And like a lot of women, like that's the thing where it's like, you don't, like you've been in a relationship with someone for a long time, but you realize that you actually don't like me based on how you treat me. So I had to be honest. Part of the healing was being honest that, it's embarrassing, but I'm actually insecure. Like when you made that girl laugh, in my mind, you've divorced me, you've gone off with her, you've married her, you've moved on.
Like you like her more than you like me.
Yes, like it was just being vulnerable and being raw and in the moments, and also checking myself and saying that just because I'm thinking it or experiencing it doesn't mean that this thought is right. Like this thought could actually be wrong, but a lot of that processing had to happen together. Like I had to let him know this is what I'm feeling. And even if it was ridiculous, like if it is like, I low-key thought you were about to elope with that lady that we met at Checkers. Like you've moved on. And we talk about it, we laugh about it, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. And we move on. And I think it's just been that constant conversation, and also being honest as to when I might be pulling back, or whatever the case may be, or like this thing that I mentioned where I thought he would wake up and realize that this girl is trash. I'm out of here, bro. Like, I'm gone. Like, actually being honest that I keep thinking you'll wake up and find a reason not to be with me, which in a way would sometimes make me behave as someone who's going to give you a reason not to be with me. Like,
hectic.
Because it's also a level of, I don't think I'm worthy of this.
So let me just give you what you need to exit.
Yeah, like I don't actually think I'm worthy of someone who wants to hang out with me, who's actually choosing me. Like, he doesn't get chosen. What are you talking about?
Hectic.
So, but a lot of that was us sort of talking about it and being honest with those. Again, like I said, it is embarrassing because nobody wants to show that they're weak in an area, whatever it is. But yeah, we've cultivated sort of that level of communication where it's like, yeah.
I think though, there are people who go through a similar experience.
Yeah.
And it's probably even worse. Maybe they get physically and sexually abused. And sometimes it doesn't even go to that extent, but they would then, I'm just reminded by what you said now, that you would do stuff to kind of give me a reason to leave, right? But then they would do stuff that I think would piss off their husband, right?
Yeah.
So much so that the husband then would say, I'm done. And then when the husband says it's done, then it's like, yeah, see, told you. You were going to leave that.
You've always been.
But you were at some level, and let me be gracious and not say at a conscious level, but at a subconscious level, because of the trauma, you've been poking at the bear.
Yeah, like
over and over and over. But I think with you, and again, whether it's, because that's another thing that attracted me to my wife. She has a toughness and a realness to her. And I think as much as you said earlier on, you hadn't really processed, extensively that you reacting from your past trauma, and that's why you're behaving a certain way. But I think your realness helped you to be real, even in the midst of all of that happening, and be real with me. So you wouldn't treat me like a dog, right? Just because you were like, I'm poking at the bear. And I think there's times where, like, I think your poking was very subconscious. I think all of it would be, but I think yours was
it wasn't. I wasn't like, I'm gonna wake up
I'm gonna show you.
But it's like, it's something silly like, oh, Black normally carries my bag, and he didn't carry my bag. Yeah, fail. I'm gonna carry my own bag now. Like I'm gonna show him that. I don't know. That's probably like a terrible example, but probably that's the only time it would be conscious. But other times it would be. Like, if I tell him this really bad story of this really bad thing
that happened a lot early in our marriage, yes.
Where I'm like,
yes.
you have done this. And I'm like, yo, this is it. It's out now.
You'd be like, okay. I remember, because one of our pillars was honesty, brutal honesty. And that means we'll have to, like, just be open, naked, and just tell the truth for what it is. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just fully expressing myself. And I remember there were a few times my wife came with a bomb. But I don't care self. I was like, okay, cool.
It would be so anticlimactic.
So you're expecting like explosion, and he's just like, bet. Okay.
Which again, looking back, I'm like, with my twisted mind, it wouldn't be relieving to me that he's not reacting.
Oh, hectic.
I would almost be like frustrated because
you're like, I'm expecting
you're
this.
supposed to like regret this marriage after this conversation. What are you saying? Like, you're still here? Because I think it was still that thing of like, there's nothing that I can do within, like, in of who I am that will just make you stay. Like, there's nothing that will ever be good enough. So let me show you all the bad, like quick, fast. Because in my previous relationship, it felt like I could never do anything right. Like this guy would flip at, like, we were walking down the street together, and I think because I kind of crab walk. I'm one of those people.
She doesn't pick up her feet.
If you're out there and like when you walk in a door and it catches your jacket, like I'm that person, or like it catches my belt loop. Like I don't know
how it happens, but it's gonna happen.
I bump into stuff. So anyway, so we were walking and I literally just bumped into him. Guy was pissed off. I got cussed out. It was like, you would think I like freaking amputated his grandmother's pinky because of what I did. So
I hated that.
It would literally just be, but then I'm like, Lily, why you like this? Like, why can't you? So
why
then
can't
I talk
you just
to myself
walk
like this.
normally or something?
You know what I mean?
Like it becomes bigger than it.
Yes. And then like literally nothing I could do was right. So but at the same time, in as much as nothing I could do was right, I was still trying to do right stuff so that this person would be nice to me. And so now I'm like, I don't have to try. This guy's lying, bruh. Like, he's faking.